What is going on, everybody? I was gonna make a commentary video on the Stevie Knight situation. That's what I was gonna call it. Not that it's anything like illegal, but the situation that he's in with like all these other content creators calling him out and stuff. Because I had already seen the I've Been Preach video, and I was saying to myself, I'm like, yo, Stevie, do not respond to that video. And that's what it seems like he's doing right here. And I already know at the very beginning he says Abba's a bitch. Like that's what it starts off with. And that's one of the reasons why I actually unsubbed from Stevie. I still watch Stevie from time to time, right? Which is why I figured out about the debate in the first place. I figured out that they were going to debate through Stevie's channel, and I don't think it was. I didn't see it on Abba and Preach's channel, unless I did. Well, I'm subbed to Abba and Preach. I'm not subbed to Stevie at all on any of his channels. I was, but you know when you constantly watch somebody, like from time to time, they'll show up on your feed. You know, pretty much the whole. We realize that most of your viewers aren't subscribed to you or whatever, or a lot of your viewers aren't subs. I'm guilty. That's me. I often watch people that I'm not sub to. It's like I like your content enough to tune in, but I don't like your content enough for you to fill up my feed. You know what I'm saying? And right now, I feel like this video is gonna be bad because he starts off saying Abba's a bitch, and Stevie he throws that word out so often, man. That's one of the things I don't like about watching red pill channels, or like people, or like these strong masculinity dudes. Like they always are trying to prove something, man. That's what I get from hearing that from the very beginning. Now I know I'm just yapping, y'all ready for me to start the video, but I'm gonna say one last thing about Stevie saying stuff like that. So the reason why I kind of stopped watching Stevie, or I unsubbed from him, was because of the way he talks about women sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about like women that deserve to be criticized, like the ones that hurt men, or the ones that are baby mamas under certain circumstances and stuff like that. But I remember watching a video that all these dudes talk about how men get treated wrong, and you know, men need to be masculine, and also society always looks down on men. But there was a video that Stevie was reacting to where this guy was getting abused by his girl, right? And Steve was like, man, Stevie was like, man, you a bitch, man, cause you soft, man. You let her walk over you, and it's just like, dog, how are we gonna say that people don't care about men's mental health, and this man's getting abused, and you're calling him a bitch? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And you already know, like, there's a weird psychological thing that goes on with abuse, which makes it hard for people to leave. And for a man, like, a risk that you always got to think about is that if you ever come out and say something, she's going to lie, probably, and say it was you. And people are more inclined to believe women over you because we're big and strong and they're fragile, apparently. So, yeah. But all right, let me get started on this video. I yapped way too long. It's been over 3 minutes. But yeah.
I was a bitch. Plain simple, bro. He's a bitch.
But that's obviously not the first thing he said. That's just what he included in the beginning to get you tuned in to see why he says that. He says that later. But I'm just saying, this is not a good look for Stevie, though. Because dude, that debate was nuts. That's cap. I don't gotta Google it. That's nuts, man. Why did you respond?
Abba has dropped another video on your boy titled Stevie Knight Called Us Out, Got Exposed Instead, bro. Let me preface this by saying that I already know Peeps' minds is made up about me, especially Abba and them in this echo chamber of his minions or whatnot, bro. It don't matter what I say or what I can show y'all, whatever y'all minds is made up. Cool. Before I even tap in to see what Abba has concocted here this time.
To be fair, everybody's guilty in staying in their echo chambers, man. So I'm not gonna like hold that against Abba and Preach or whatever. But I feel like Abba and Preach, they cover more sides than what Stevie does, I think.
Man, let y'all know, bro. Like, you know, I fucked with Abba before. I mean, not personally. Not personally. I ain't know him like that. You know, we chopped it up a few times directly on Instagram or whatnot, man. But nothing like, worth note. You know what I'm saying? But I had enough rapport with him to reach out to him, see if he wanted to discuss the whole Kirk situation, man. You know what I mean? I knew his perspective was opposite mine. You know what I mean? And I figured we was two commonsensical, reasonable individuals that would be able to participate in a debate and make it productive and, thought provoking for those watching it, man. And I thought the interview or
fair
conversation debate went smoothly, bro. You know what I mean? I ain't have no qualms or quarrels with it at all, bro. So I was definitely surprised seeing that he dropped a video in response to the debate, which highlighted me in a certain way. After watching that video, I reached out to Abba directly because I'm not with.
Okay, what I will say about this right here is that this is coming off as like people thinking that, am I overexposed? Oh, no, now I am. Oh, my gosh. This comes off as like you collabing with somebody or you, because y'all are both content creators at the end of the day. And it feels like Stevie thought that Abba was his friend and now he feels like backstabbed or something. I don't know. Or maybe he'll get into it, but maybe at the end what happened was Abba was like, all right, man, peace, man, cool. And after that, I think he felt like Abba was a snake for uploading that video. But the comments were saying that Abba usually covers like not interviews. He covers debates after he does them. Like, this is nothing new.
I'm not with this messy shit, dog. I swear I'm not. You know what I mean? And this is good for business regardless, dog. Regardless of how I'm perceived or how I'm looking, bro, it is good for business. He give me views or whatnot. Despite where his views coming from, it's still views. And people that know me enough, rock with me, they know what type of time I'm on, dog. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about any narratives and manufactured narratives from Abba, dog. You can follow me enough. You know what type of time I'm on. I ain't got shit to prove to nobody.
If you stop doing these videos, it'll blow over quicker, man. It'll blow over.
But with that,
you're dragging it out with the response.
I peeped the video of him highlighting me a certain way. He didn't respond. So I dropped my response video, man, and gave my perspective. I thought his video was disingenuous. I thought it was fake, given what we discussed on our debate. And then we're here now, man. Before I dive into this, bro, just gonna show y'all the numerous opportunities, numerous times I tried to holler at bro, dog. You know what I mean? Because real shit, dog, there's nothing here. Maybe it is to y'all. There's nothing here enough for me to be giving this amount of energy to, man.
But you made a 37-minute video.
Swarming to it like flies on shit. It has me perplexed, bro, because it ain't, like I said before, I'm not like...
Why do content creators always do that? They always say, oh, this ain't nothing to me. This don't bother me. But then they go out of their way to make a video about it. This is 37 minutes. Like, I know he just said it's good for business, views and stuff, but it's just a very funny phrase. People say, oh, I don't care. And then they keep talking about it. I don't know. That's just always funny to me.
Popping crazy.
It's kind of like a rapper doing a response diss track. It's like, I don't care what you say, and then it's just like, yeah, but you cared enough to, go to the studio, write and record a response diss track. I don't know.
Viral ass YouTuber that get views off of, bro. I mean, I don't know if this is just his MO to get views or stir the pot, dog. I don't know Abba enough to give a fuck about it. I could care less about what he says or what y'all think, but I'm not gonna just let whatever
couldn't care less, right?
Slide. Watch this video, dog. But look, tried to holler at bro plenty of times, bro. I'm gonna show y'all what type of individual this is, which was eye-opening to me. Thursday at 5 o'clock, this yo right here, that was the yo I sent him after I peeped this video.
Oh, that's
I got no response.
Okay.
Following day, I posted my response video to his. And then he hits me up Saturday. Your own comment section is roasting you for how goofy you are, and you notice that none of the new fans you're bootlicking for are defending you. Mind you, during our conversation, wasn't no slander, even up here, bro. Like, we've been cool. I'm not gonna let y'all see that, man.
I was reading that. I was reading out loud.
And none of that, bro. He wasn't calling me no types of bootlicker coon. What is that? Bootlicker coon, Uncle Tom, whatever fuck. right? And honestly, I was confused when I saw him call me a bootlicker. I'm like, what was it that we discussed during our conversation that would make you call me a bootlicker? But mind you, prior to this, Abba ain't had no type of this negative energy towards me, bruh. And you know, you find me apart, and my response.
Actually, let me go back. Is this it? All he said was, "Yo," and then why is Stevie saying "yo" up here, and then Abba has all this right here about the conservative grift manufacturing narratives, and you know, or did he say more up there that I don't see? I don't know, but I guess he's like, "Yo, why would you act all cool with me?" And then all of a sudden you're calling me all these names, so I can kind of see where Steven's going with this, but I just need to see more.
Video when I was disrespectful to him, bro. I called him disingenuous. I said he manufactured narratives. But anyway, your own comment section is roasting you for how goofy you are, and
They
you
are.
noticed that none of the new fans you're bootlicking for are defending you. You're gonna try to call me fake when you launched a video out of nowhere calling me a liar and someone manufacturing narratives. Did I whine then about how?
So I got a question. So do you think ABBA started this when he did the follow-up, or do you think Stevie started it when Stevie responded with ABBA is fake? Because I would think that meant that Stevie started it.
Dirty the social media world is? No. Now when I do a follow-up video, which
But you can
I was
disagree.
gonna do, you want to bitch online. Maybe if you had gotten those school lunches when you were a kid, you would have had the energy to learn to speak and think beyond the third grade level. Good luck with your right-wing conservative grift. We all know what's coming since you made 20 times more videos about your daddy Kirk than you did any other shooting of innocent black people. It's very telling of who Abba is, and I didn't know Abba was like this. Clearly y'all know. Abba's fans or Abba's followers know he's like this, man. And when I read that, it surprised me because I didn't think that Abba was the ops. He's labeling me a bootlicker and saying that I am doing a right-wing grift because of my dad.
So what ABBA did expose in that video was something that I ranted about in my video about black conservatives, is that they always talk about black conservatives always criticize black people, but then you rarely see them criticize, white people, unless it's like a super, super, super random crazy liberal, and that's probably about it. But you always see like more them criticizing more black people than you see like any other race, or let alone white people. Like if a white right-wing person does something that's just like outlandish, crazy, that everybody's probably talking about, they won't. Conservative channels usually are black conservative channels usually don't cover it.
Kirk, dog, that's a problem, man. It couldn't be the furthest from the truth. First of all, this is definitely not my first time providing, I guess, more conservative talking points on my videos on my Night Talk channel. Bro, if you've been rocking me long enough, you know that's the fucking case. It couldn't be that I just felt for a man who was assassinated for speaking truth. It always has to do with color. We got to put color on everything, bro. And this was surprising. I didn't know Abba was like this, bro. I did not know Abba was like this. And had I known Abba was like this, I wouldn't have even had that conversation with him, bro, because he's one of the main people I be describing when I say there's no talking to them. There's no talking to someone like this who's going to assume that since I'm black, the only reason why I am covering Kirk is because he's white and I'm going to get white views from it. If I pulled up how many followers I have lost in general because of my take on Kirk, it wouldn't make any sense, bro. I'd be working against myself. You know what I mean? Like, me covering Kirk has served to my detriment financially, bro. But I stand on what I stand on.
I can understand that argument.
Maroon, purple, blue, whatever the fuck, bro.
I will say, I think the issue that some of Stevie's fans have is that the majority of people that talked about Charlie Kirk, they probably did maybe 1 or 2 videos on Charlie Kirk. But Stevie has done so many videos on Charlie Kirk where everyone's just like, okay, look, bro, we get it. What happened was tragic, but Leo, can we please move on? So that is why ABBA is saying is using. That's why ABBA is saying Daddy Kirk to Stevie, because Stevie has done a lot of videos on Charlie Kirk, man.
He's an individual out here using his right to free speech. An individual was so bothered by it that they took his life. But since I'm black, I have to be selling out. It's the whole fucking problem, dog. And as far as him saying you're gonna try to call me fake when you launched a video out of nowhere calling me a liar and someone manufacturing narratives. If you saw that debate, I told him that I still believe he manufactured narratives. Do you feel like you manufactured a narrative on Kirk by showing those clippets, those snips of him in your video?
Yeah, okay, we can address that because I did have that in my notes as well. I think around like the 20-minute mark, you said I took him out of context, right?
Not even take him out of context. You put your context on it because if you let it play, I put the additional clips on.
I've already seen this so many times.
About a.
Okay,
I just want to know what he's talking about now.
Didn't put, you know.
Yes,
because
but as somebody who because as a
the rest I made video
was the guy that to me.
Okay, one thing I don't like already is that if we're watching this, I would say the majority, because usually if you don't know about something, you just go do your own research. I hit the dang mic, but we've already seen this debate so many times in the clips because we saw the original one. We saw when ABBA did his cover of it, or when he covered it. Then we saw Stevie's reaction to it, and then we saw ABBA and Preach's video about Stevie calling them out. And now we're seeing it again. I don't know. That's just funny to me, which is why I'm skipping it. That's probably why the dang video is 37 minutes. Okay, there we go.
Not gonna know why he's doing it. They're just gonna know he's doing it, right? But it was professional. It wasn't disrespectful. It was, this is what I think it is, and I still think it is, bro. But there wasn't no negative energy there. He didn't show me that he was pressed about it, and he definitely didn't tell me he was gonna make a video essentially calling me out. I thought the conversation was cool, and then to watch a video of him talking crazy was unexpected. None of that energy was in our conversation. But anyway,
in that video, I don't think ABBA was talking crazy. He was pretty much calling out how bad your argument was, and the reason why he didn't do it then in the conversation is because if he did, it would have just been going around in circles and circles and circles. He just thought that some of your opinions were dumb, so he's like, all right, I'm going to cover this video because I'm in it, and let me address it to my audience, for people who probably don't have the attention span to watch the whole debate. Because I don't. I listen to it at work. I would not sit in my chair right now and watch that whole debate. I'd probably do it if I'm washing dishes, driving. I did that at work. But yeah.
Enjoy these easy short-term bucks selling out your own people. My response, I hit you up before I dropped the vid, but got no response from you. If you up to it, we can get back on camera or have a chat offline, because this ain't it. I'm not going to be doing the back and forth online stuff, so let me know if...
Contradiction. I'm not going to be doing the back and forth online stuff, and yet you did a response. Just saying.
Not, it's cool. Appreciate the look. LOL, you're a clown. Called me a liar and manipulator multiple times before I said a word. Now you want to hop on the call. Man, carry on grifting. Bro sound like a female, don't he? He sound like a female, bro. I showed my girl this shit, bro. And she was like, man, it sounds like it's a girl trying to break up with you. Oh, man. Okay, this is what I said. When did I call you a liar and manipulator, and what are you referring to when saying before you said a word? And as I stated previously, I DM'd you before recording my response video, but got no response. I was confused when he said liar and manipulator, but he was just addressing how I called him like fake and...
No. The reason why he's saying that you called him a liar and manipulator is because you say he's manufacturing narratives. That's where that's coming from.
Manufacturing a narrative.
Okay, he just said it. Let me shut my mouth.
Like me saying liar and manipulator, those words didn't come out my mouth. Those are going to hit different, have a negative tone. I was careful with my words. Wanted to call it out, but not be aggressive and make someone feel some type of way doing it, bro. So I never called him a liar and manipulator. But now, you know, he said that I can understand how he put those together. Then he says, do you know what the
This
words
white screen's causing
coming out
my
your mouth even
brightness
mean? In your
go
video
crazy.
on us before we ever spoke, you said you intentionally edited the clip to take Kirk out of context, right? And you said you're just manufacturing a narrative. And he clearly did. He didn't agree that he manufactured a narrative because he said the whole world.
Okay, I will say this. Whenever he said that Abba was taking Kirk out of context, and the example he showed in the debate was the abortion one, and I don't think that you needed to add on the rest of what Kirk said, because you could kind of already deduce why he had his stance, I would say. And the only thing that I would say is that Abba shouldn't assume that everybody knew that Kirk was Christian, because some people didn't even know who he was until what happened. But yeah, that's about it. But so I didn't like Abba and Preach's initial video on Kirk, and that's probably because they didn't say what I wanted them to say. So I think that's why a lot of us had a reaction to it. Because I wanted Abba to mainly focus on like how crazy it was that people were celebrating, and how crazy it is for you to your life to get ended for opinions. But the majority of the video wasn't that. So that's why I didn't like it. But that's because he didn't say what I wanted him to say. And I will admit that. That's my fault. And I feel like a few of us felt that same way in the comments. And then Stevie clearly felt that way, which led to this debate. I will say the dumbest thing that they said in that video is probably just, people are against cancel culture, but they're not against people getting fired for, saying free speech. It's just like, bro, you recording yourself celebrating somebody getting killed. It's not cancel culture, bro. It's not.
Knows that Kirk is a Christian, so they're gonna know why he doesn't support abortion. I disagree.
Stevie, if someone says I'm anti-abortion, I'm a Christian, we know why you don't want an abortion.
In that clip you put, he didn't say he was Christian though. He just said, she just gave an example, and he said no, she can have a baby. He didn't say he was Christian.
This guy was all over the world, all over the news.
But you're making an assumption, though, bro. You're making an assumption.
I'm not making an assumption.
Everybody doesn't know Kirk, bro.
No, everybody who saw that clip of him getting murdered knew he was a political speaker who's Christian. There's not a person who didn't see that clip, who didn't see the news reports, who didn't know what he was.
That's absolutely cap, bro. That's cap.
Like I said, I actually agree with Stevie there. Not everybody knows that. However, in that clip, though, if he says that he would have his daughter have the baby, that you don't even need to know that he's Christian. You just already know that he's pro-life. There's nothing to add to that, because him being Christian is not going to make people more sympathetic to his argument. So I think that's weird on Stevie's part. But I'm not gonna look at the clip again, man. I already seen it.
The whole world knew about Kirk because Kirk got assassinated, and from which I still told him that I believe you're manufacturing a narrative. He disagreed, right? But it was cool. Wasn't no animosity there, right? Anyway, he says, that's you saying I'm manipulating and being deceitful. LMAO, I don't even care that you said it, but for you to cry after we did our vid like you were betrayed, LMAO. Bro, you might be one of the most bad faith, dumb people I've ever interacted with. It's just sad that you're doing this at the expense of your own people, kids, and anyone else for your grift. Make 10 more videos crying about Kirk now. Sorry your white zaddy dying changed your life. Yeah, this is who Abba is, bro.
All right, to be fair, Abba's been like that. Abba said a lot of things that I don't like and agree with. Like, Abba's been saying stuff like that. That ain't nothing new. I guess you're just seeing it. But you are a content creator that do your own content, so you may not see what all Abba says. This ain't nothing new.
This is who Abba is, dog. Let y'all know. But y'all, I mean, Team Abba, y'all are going to be, yes, I love it. The racism, the white demon. Anybody out here sympathizing for a man assassinated like that is a Uncle Tom. That's right. Yeah, I mean, I can hear it now, bro.
That's not the
this
argument.
Shit is fucked up. Anyway.
That's not the argument.
I got you. I misunderstood, being that I never used the term liar or manipulator in that video. We also addressed this during our conversation. You disagreed that you manufactured a narrative, and I disagreed with that. But regardless, wasn't no bad blood. Hell, wasn't no bad blood even after I did my response to your
Bad
response.
blood.
So all this extra emotion regarding the videos is surprising to me. I don't know where all the animosity is coming from. Juice don't seem worth the squeeze. Something don't add up. But hey, you feel how you feel. Definitely been an eye-opening experience though. And then here's his response. LOL, I didn't say liar or manipulator. I just accused you of deceptive behavior to manufacture narratives. You're getting animosity because you're a bad faith clown who can't even stand behind his own words. You want to talk crazy and pretend you didn't say anything.
I will say, I think the weird part is that ABBA seems to already be bro, I can say the word. Why am I antagonistic? That's how you say it, right? Like, he seemed to already have, like, because if all Stevie said was yo, and that long, well, 3 like paragraphs that ABBA sent does seem kind of weird. Because from what I can tell, they've been familiar with each other, which is why ABBA does research, right? Which is ABBA knows the type of content Stevie does. Stevie obviously watched ABBA and Preach. He did a couple of reactions, right? And I will say ABBA does seem to be kind of oddly antagonistic, I will say. But so I can see where Stevie's kind of coming from with that, you know. But I still don't think Stevie should have even did the first video talking about ABBA being fake, and I don't think he should have did this video too, man. Like I said, after ABBA and Preach did their video, maybe a couple of their fans would have came over and clowned you on the debate as that happens, but it would have blown over so faster. None of us would be talking about this. And all those other people, you know, I will say Stevie's kind of been moving weird because after the whole debate, he did the whole sellout video. And then later, I didn't watch it, so you can correct me if you got this far. He did another video of, I guess, this white person being racist, and then Myron was also there. So it was like, why are you doing this video now after what people have been saying about you in the debate, and after making the video of you saying people calling you a sellout? I don't know. I just find that kind of funny though. But the whole like bad faith clown thing, ABBA, you can calm down.
Weirdo, right? I wish he had let me know that he believed I was talking to him crazy, bro. It's like we had the debate. I mean, I reached out to him after I dropped the video, right? So that just goes to show that I didn't think anything was wrong with my video. Everything was cool. Wasn't no animosity. He didn't have any energy if he felt so strongly about me calling him a liar and a manipulator, bro. Wasn't no negative energy there. But then when I see him drop a video with some negative energy, I'm the wrong one. I'm in the wrong because he didn't have the same energy during our debate, right? It was cool. Him getting mad about it now or saying something about it now, you should have said something about it before so we could both be on the same page. Like, he's had animosity from jump, but just was covering it up to set this whole plot up. He watched the video, felt some type of way, held it in. We had our debate, and then his plan was to do a response video to make me look crazy because he felt some type of way about the video I initially posted, but he never told me he felt a way. Like, you feel a way, let a motherfucker know so we can address it. I did not know ABBA moved like this. But
That's cap, isn't it, though? Like I said, you can kind of change how you feel depending on whenever you rewatch something, you like feel different about it versus how it was when you were having a conversation. And ABBA did the video, and from what I got from it, I don't feel like he was attacking Stevie personally. He was attacking Stevie's arguments and how he didn't make sense and how he wasn't standing on his arguments, which is what was already being said in the comments way before ABBA did his follow-up video on that. So it was mainly about your arguments, not about you personally. But I think it got kind of personal after you made a video calling ABBA fake. You know, you're like, ABBA's fake. That's when I feel like it got kind of personal. But he probably does have a point about ABBA already having an idea of him before. But usually when you're debating something and you have animosity for somebody, you're not gonna bring up what you got animosity about. You're gonna mainly keep it cool, keep your composure, and stay on topic. Cause trust me, there's a lot of stuff I want to say to people at work, but I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
You know, bro is excellent at portraying a image online. That's for sure. My response. This is Sunday now. Today's Thursday. This is Sunday. Nah, I'm not pretending anything, bro. Shit don't add up to me. You're clearly triggered and emotional over something I'm missing. And you clearly feel away because of my manufacturing a narrative statement, but we discussed this on camera and you didn't have this energy during our conversation. We simply agreed to disagree. You didn't have any negative energy at all from what I could see, but your tone changed in the response video to our conversation. In addition to painting me in a certain way, cherry picking videos to make your point and taking me out of context. As I stated in my...
This kind of reminds me of what I've been saying lately. I feel like social media has some of us stuck in high school mentality, man. Because in high school, people were always into drama and stuff, and everybody's always like, oh, did you hear what happened with so-and-so? Isn't that legit what we're doing right now? These two dudes going back and forth in DMs and messages, and then we're all reacting to the drama, and then we're all commenting and talking more about it. I don't know.
Response to yours, I believed your response to be very disingenuous and fake. I still didn't have any negative energy, though. If that's how you want to get views, get your views. I still have no ill will now. It's not that serious. I just realized there must be something else going on here or miscommunication in regards to this whole situation. And I'm doing my part to get to the bottom of it, but it is what it is, bro. But with that, I reached out to you on DMs the day before I posted, got no response, so I posted my perspective. All this could have been handled if you chopped with me after the debate, but hey, you do what you do. All right, so we squared now. We had this whole conversation, right? And Abba posts another video. So
We're doing another Stevie Knight video, and I know that half of you are like,
I could care less. I could care less about.
Stevie Knight, he has a titled video called Damn, Is ABBA Fake?
I cannot say that I saw this coming. Abba ain't no stranger to doing the extra, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna just summarize this first point, but I'll link the video below so you guys can go watch it.
for those of you who didn't watch the debate, consider yourself lucky. Here's a recap.
I feel like it felt like, I didn't feel like that. I feel like, do you feel like, I feel like I could care less about why you feel the way you feel. I'm not a fucking machine. They need to be controlled. They need to be decapitated to feel heard. I feel like everybody's gonna feel differently. There is emotion tied to it, bro. I'm a human being. Some children are born in fucked up circumstances, bro. It is what it is. So logically, it is what it is. Oh, that's cap.
That's cap? Did you Google it? Did you Google it?
I don't need to Google it. Somebody Google it in the chat. I don't even need to look up the stat. Every motherfucker engaged in evil could burn.
During our debate, there was a discussion about school, food lunches, starvation.
Have I already
food
seen all this?
insecurity.
This was his MO, bro.
wait for him to say
This is
something.
MO, dog. You know what I mean? Bro gonna put them edits together, put them compilations together to paint a narrative, to make.
But that's not that's what ABBA does. That's not anything new. Because do you guys remember that time when he covered Hassan? And Hassan, he had like a whole compilation of Hassan saying transphobic. That man said it like 35 times, man. Probably more than that, actually.
Manufacture a narrative, bro. But those that watch the damn debate.
All right, so he's saying that's manufacturing the narrative, but what he did was that you normally say facts don't care about your feelings. Facts. We need facts. No emotions. The left is always emotional. And yet that was a compilation of how many times you said I feel like. I don't need to look up the stats. I feel like. That's not manufacturing a narrative. That's all coming from your mouth, man.
In its entirety, man, to summarize the debate in that manner with the I feel, bro, it's disingenuous, dog. It was a productive conversation. He's just in his feelings, bro. The irony, he's trying to make me seem like I feel. But Abba is in his fields.
Kirk, we're constantly making this point that like kids are not starving, so we don't need these free lunches in school. There's other ways for the kids to get food.
I feel like it's the opposite, homie. Abba's making jokes, and you're doing the response and calling Abba a bitch, and clearly more frustrated than he is. And then you got upset with some of the DMs he was sending you. I wouldn't call him.
Okay, that's pretty much the general gist of it. I try to explain that like not everyone has good parents. Food stamps are not always accessible. 7-year-old can't apply for food stamps. Steve's like, listen, it's not a real problem. Kids are not emaciated, dying on the side of the street. And he harps on the fact that during the debate,
that was the miscommunication. We're talking past each other. So I saw the debate again, and because this whole conversation came from a snippet of Kirk that he provided to demonize Kirk when a kid in the audience asked him, "Are you against children getting free lunches?" Right, and then Kirk said, "Yes, because there's no children starving in America. There hasn't been a child dying of starvation in the past 10 years, and that's a spade, right? Children are not dying from starvation." So that was my point of view, and he was defending the point of, bad parenting.
Excuse me.
I mean, you saw the interview. Like I said, it don't matter what I say at this point, bro. Like, people gonna feel how they feel, man. But I do know we were talking past each other. He was talking about food instability. I was talking about literal starvation, because he went to the extent of trying to compare the starving issue in America to abortion. Like, how can Kirk be, pro-life?
That's the argument of semantics, because, like, oftentimes when someone says, I'm trying to articulate this correctly. Unfortunately, sometimes whenever we say starvation, we don't always mean like malnourishment and stuff like that. Sometimes it just could be mean like going hungry. You know what I'm saying? Because in that Kirk video, did he say there's no starving children in America? Or did he say kids don't go hungry because kids are fat? But I mean, like, oftentimes, like, how many times have we said, like, you like super hungry, your stomach's growling, and you're like, dang, I'm starving. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just the argument with words. I think if anybody would have said, no kids are dying from starvation or malnourishment in America, then that probably would have helped a bit more. But I think Abba did say that, either in the debate or the follow-up. I know we just saw the clips, but so much stuff happened.
But then not want to feed kids. It's not even a fair comparison, man, because abortions, the children don't even have the ability to live. Right? Those in America, kids in America, are actually living. They're living, and they're not dying from starvation. So, it's not a fair comparison to me. You know what I mean? But I understand his point with, bad parenting or whatnot. But, the government provides $44 billion worth of food to the hungry in some type of way. The money is out there. Anyway, let's continue.
Stevie.
Come on, man. You gotta address some of the stuff that you said. You said that a kid can go find those things, and it's like you're expecting a 7-year-old or however to go find those resources. You gotta address some of the stuff that. Don't worry about what Abba is saying, man. You need to address some of the arguments that people are making fun of you for. Because you were saying that Abba was cherry picking some of your stuff, and yet in the last video you did about Abba being fake, you didn't even like watch the whole video. You like stopped like midway probably, and like glossed over like some of the main points that Abba was making.
Himself was talking about starvation, like third world starvation, like kids, skinny bones, big belly, dying.
This isn't fucking people. It's not a famish going on. People are not dying because
No, they're not dying. But
famish.
I was talking about that. You were talking about a different problem that's less serious, and it's kind of disingenuous of you, Abba, to misrepresent me.
We can't be switching words out now, man. Food insecurity is entirely different than starving? That was the question posed in that debate with Kirk.
Now, here's where I'll be accountable. Shouldn't have used the word starvation when I was talking to him. Even though us in colloquial terms, be like, yo, I'm starving today. I need to eat.
Okay,
in
I
a
said
discussion,
It ain't
you
the
should define.
same, bro. Hell no, dog. That was my whole point. But y'all want to gloss over that. That's my whole point, bro. If we're going to compare children being hungry to abortions, these children better be starving to death, on the verge of dying, if we're going to compare them to abortions. That's my whole point. He wanted to pull me into that conversation, man, but that is why I wasn't.
But didn't this come up when Stevie the one that asked the question? He said, "Are there more abortions or kids starving in America?" That's what that question that he asked literally started this whole thing. But let me continue. Maybe I'm speaking too soon.
That's my whole point. He wanted to pull me into that conversation, man, but that is why I wasn't giving his conversation energy, because it wasn't a fair comparison to me. You know, being hungry and the different ways that can represent itself is an entirely different conversation. He wanted to harp on that, man, but we can't compare that to. First of all, we can't compare that to abortion, and that is not starving. Just being hungry, your stomach growling.
But the one that brought up the question.
Right?
He asked it
Hungry,
himself.
but only in America we're going to equate you being hungry to actually starvation. It ain't the fucking same. This here, starvation is a severe and prolonged state of malnutrition that occurs when an organism does not consume enough food to meet its basic energy and nutrient. It is characterized by, we don't suffer from this in America. That was my whole point.
In terms, that's my fault.
You also gave yourself a 3 out of 10.
For the debate performance?
Yes.
Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. What I don't like is this very bad faith interpretation on his behalf. When him and Kirk argue against school lunches, them talking about starvation, these programs were never implemented to stop famine. They were not put in place so that kids were about to die on the side of the street and like, hey, here's a little sandwich at lunchtime. They were put in place to combat malnutrition because a lot of folks who didn't have access to food would show up, not eat, and their performance levels at school were bad. They couldn't pay attention. That's what the program's about. I personally think it's incredibly bad faith to come to a debate about a topic, about a policy, and argue against something that's never intended for. And throughout the debate with him too, I mentioned it. If you just Google it, it's like so many kids today here in America, look it up the statistics, that have malnutrition, that have food scarcity, that have all these problems. It stunts their growth. It fucks them up in terms of their academic success. If we were talking about kids dying on the side of the street, why the would I be talking about the fact that they won't get a good grade, and who cares? If we were talking about something that was terminal, I think I'd probably be like, how do we save these kids from dying?
I understand what you're trying to say. What I don't understand is why the f are we debating school lunches?
Sure.
Like you're trying to make a whole point about, no.
This is my thing. Like, we disagree. We can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
All right. You know, it's good for views. It's good for TV. It's good for people in the comments. It's good for the bots. It's good for all the trolls or whatnot, man. But big picture, bro. This is why I'm so fucking confused. Like, what am I missing about this? What am I missing about this that Abba needs to bring so much attention to this? These two need to bring so much attention to this debate that he and I had, bro. Abba and Preach are at the top of commentary videos, bro. These motherfuckers rake in millions of views per video addressing all sorts of topics. Why is this one getting so much attention? What is it about this that got Abba so captivated, like so tight, like so emotional, bro?
Just because we're not dealing with third world country problems, don't we solve them all the time? It's like,
Why has it got them heated? Because you're arguing against kids eating. That's why he's heated. Like, any person that will go against kids eating for free is going to get criticized, because they're just going to be like, yo, like, what? You're against kids eating school lunches for free? Like, what? Because sometimes when kids don't have money for lunch, they eat nothing. That's happened to me before. Not because, like I said in my other video, not because I was poor, it's because I forgot that I had no money on my balance. And dang, lunch lady didn't remind me that I needed to pay the next week.
like saying, yo, we don't need to make our roads better because we don't have dirt roads.
Or next
like third
day.
world country.
Single child in America going hungry doesn't exist.
See, he didn't say starving. He said going hungry. some kids definitely go hungry.
That's just not true.
We have a child obesity problem. Doesn't exist.
He didn't say
Just
starving.
not true.
He said going hungry.
We have a child obesity problem, not a child starvation problem in this country.
I don't understand this thing where it's like it has to be one or the other. You know, you could have.
When I hear Kirk say we don't have a child hunger problem, I think of starvation.
Yeah, but
malnutrition, your bodily function.
But not everybody
being
thinks that.
affected because of the lack of food. You know what I mean? But I get it. I get it, bro. We were talking about two different conversations.
Yeah, all right.
I keep repeating myself. The only reason why I'm stuck on starvation is because the abortion comparison, and Kirk highlighting starvation. So it's starvation stuck to me.
He keeps talking about the comparison. Nobody was comparing what was worse. You asked the question about stats about what was happening more. That's literally what I don't know. It's just funny. I don't know.
Then it's like, bruh, we could have talked about this. You know what I mean? We could have talked about this, dog. With anything for views, anything to stir the pot, anything to get the motherfuckers going. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it, dog. But it's not how I fucking move. But I'm gonna defend myself. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fucking defend myself, dog.
You don't always have to, man.
Like, both of those things can all coexist like that.
Americans don't know what starving is. We don't know what starving is, man. But, you know, I see what he's doing here. He's playing semantics and moving the goalposts with this conversation, bro.
I love how you accuse me of playing semantics.
That's what
He spent 13 minutes talking about starvation versus food insecurity and not getting enough meals.
That's comedy gold right there.
If you talk
He brought up
This also got 37 minutes. That's crazy.
like that about kids not having access to food, is it any wonder why people think you guys are monsters?
Bro, here we go, bro. He taking me out of context again. See, Abba ain't shit. He ain't shit.
Every time someone's too stupid to enunciate their own point, they always say I was taken out of context. No, you just don't know how to communicate. Maybe if you got a school lunch every time in the 3rd grade, you'd be able to read, speak, and think past a 4th grade level. Maybe. I think you needed them school lunches, Stevie. I was taken out of context. After a while, is it people taking you out of context or you don't know how to communicate?
He may have not liked my opinion. He may not like how I speak. He may not like how I communicate, bro, but I never came with any disrespect. I mean, he felt disrespected by my perspective, by how I view things, dog, but I kept it cool. I kept it professional. You know what I mean? Gave this motherfucker respect, right? Because even in the debate with bro, dog, I peeped it. You know what I mean? I peeped it, bro. But I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let him rock. You know what I mean? Because I came there for a conversation, and Abba came there to go viral, bro.
All right. So here's what I saw. They both had moments like that. Abba probably took a jab. Steve definitely took a jab too. It wasn't always respectful. You literally said in the video. You literally said in the debate, Abba, you're supposed to be smarter than that, man. You're supposed to be smarter than that. And then you also said, man, you're an encyclopedia, man. You know what I mean. You know what I mean? And then you feel like he was emotional in the first video that he did, when he covered the debate. And then in your response that we just saw right there, you were like, man, Abba ain't shit, bro. Abba ain't shit. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always fully respectful. There's a couple jabs on both sides. However, you two are both mature enough to be able to talk to each other without yelling at each other, without threatening each other. You know what I mean?
He's out there performing while he's talking, trying to push the conversation to other points, you know, put words in my mouth.
If Kirk's not killed on camera, is this situation more or less tragic?
It's less tragic.
So dying on camera makes a murder worse?
No, not the murder worse, but the effect that has on the people is worse.
All right. Here's what I thought about this topic, because I almost closed the debate early on because I thought this section was so dumb. Anybody that knew Charlie Kirk knew that he got shot and killed. They would have been sad either way versus if they saw the video or not. You know, they would have been sad. And other people probably been like, well, he got shot for just talking at a campus. That's messed up. But what the video does is that it just makes it more graphic, and it makes you kind of sick to your stomach because of what happened. I don't think it makes it any more. I don't think it makes it more sad or tragic. I think it probably rocks like your core a bit more, or maybe that's the same thing. Anybody who, I don't think you have to watch the video to be upset, but there are people that that did watch it and cry, wondering like, why the heck am I crying? So maybe Stevie has a point then. All right, here's what I think. If you knew who he was and you learned that he got shot, you were going to be upset about it, whether you saw the video or not. But seeing the video, and it making you like feel a certain way, you would have felt that same way about anybody, and not just it being Charlie Kirk, you know?
Because everybody can see it.
That's the effect that it has on you as an individual. But yeah, the tragedy is the same. The tragedy.
I disagree with you on that.
Okay, well, yeah, we're definitely gonna disagree. Yeah. If my father dies on camera or doesn't die on camera, at the end of the day, he died. Somebody took my person away.
So I understand that one.
The fact that everybody can see your father die and have that accessible 24/7 on social media is not gonna make the situation any different than having him die.
I would say not for the family member, because family member is gonna be set regardless. Like, you're not really gonna be thinking that, oh, it's on. It's your first thought is not gonna be like, oh, it's on for everybody to see. It's mainly just like, I just lost my father. I think that's the way Abba's leaning, and I understand that completely. But I will go back to my other argument about you would be upset either way. Like, I could see somebody probably get shot or whatever, and if I don't know them, it's not gonna feel the same as me knowing the person. So I think I agree more with Abba. I don't think it makes it any more. I don't think it makes it more tragic. I think, like, if you see someone shot and killed that you know, it's gonna bother you a lot more than versus someone you don't know. Same way that if you learn that person that you know dies versus someone you don't know dies, I feel like it'll be about the same. I don't think it being on video matters.
No, it makes it different. But from a moral standpoint, it's the exact same. There's no difference in morality.
Well, morality is a different conversation. I'm talking about tragic. Try to, I guess, set up trap cards or whatnot where I'm just coming for a casual conversation. But it makes sense. It makes sense because he felt a type of way from my first video. He just didn't let me know on some bitch shit, right? That's bitch shit, dog. Like, say it with your chest. Let me know. But all this extra shit, this weirdo shit, this YouTube shit, this YouTube beef, dog. He didn't want to speak back with me face to face or on the phone. He had to save all this extra whole shit for the camera to perform for y'all, to make Stevie look like the fucking Uncle Tom, bro. Like, I get it, bro. You can play this game, dog, but the hoest sucker shit ever, bro. Like, I was a bitch. Plain simple, bro. He's a bitch. He's a victimhood bitch out here crying, emotional as fuck because.
All right, look, man. All I'm gonna say is that the irony in what he's saying right here is just crazy. Is he going to address? I hope he does, but there's only like less than 6 minutes left. No, it's actually more than 6 minutes, actually. Is he going to address the evidence that they provided when Abba was saying the reasons why people are calling him a sellout? I hope he does address that.
He felt some type of way about what I said and didn't have the balls enough to let me know how he felt and gonna cry about it later. We talking about the same debate now for fucking 3 times? What the fuck is the point? To slander Stevie? All right. But this is such hoe shit, bro. This is such hoe shit, dog. Ooh, this is bad, dog. This is not how men move, bro. Regardless of how the fuck y'all feel, regardless of how y'all Abba Glazers, I mean, y'all are gonna rock with it, bro. Cause y'all be doing this. Y'all be doing the same shit in the comments, talking all this whole shit, trolling, saying all this worse shit where y'all wouldn't say none of this shit to a motherfucker's face, right? But then at the same time, it's like this isn't even worth the shit talking, bro. You would think that I call Abba's mom a bitch or something. You would think I fucked his girl. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing here. So to do all this and be who y'all are, you know what I'm saying, to be doing the YouTube shit as long as y'all have, to have the influences y'all got. I ain't gonna say y'all. I'm not gonna include Preach on it, bro. Preach is just the innocent bystander, bro. Like he gotta support his dog. You know what I mean? This is just Abba. This is some sucker shit.
No, that's cap. I've definitely seen Abba and Preach get into it a little bit in their videos where they don't agree on something, man. Preach is not always backing up Abba. I think the majority of people thought that you performed bad in the debate, man. That's just about all. That's just about it, man. That's all.
To all this heat, this animosity. Even he had animosity in the text messages, bro, in the DMs, dog. But whatever. You feel the way, bro. It's cool. We can, right? But drop another video and come with all this shit for what? To have this fucking energy and then talk like this when there's nothing here. And I gave you numerous opportunities to holler at your boy offline, and you want to do this shit online. That's y'all's man. That's y'all's.
You gotta remember, Abba's also a comedian, bro. If he can clown on someone, he's gonna do it.
Whole shit behavior, bro. And y'all gonna buy it hook, line, and sinker, bro. But you know, birds of a feather flock together, bro. I'm cool. I'm right. This video has gotten long enough, bro. But yeah, I was a bitch. I called him fake, but I was a bitch. He a hoe. He a victim. He's really selling out the black community, bro, by sitting here thinking that all black people need to look at the world the same. How dare a black man stand for a white man?
No. That's not his argument. That is not his argument. I will say, I think Abba Not Liking Charlie does probably add a bit to it. But there's more to why he's calling you certain stuff, man. There's way more to why you're not addressing it.
For using his right to free speech. Motherfuckers putting black on everything. But when you have this perspective, when you look at life this way, when you're unwilling to speak, when you're unwilling to have discourse, when you start talking shit, that's the whole fucking problem, bro. This is a direct example of all of our problems today with every fucking situation, bro. Getting so mad about nothing online on some sneaky shit, bro. I tried to holler at you, bro, but no, you gonna do this shit, bro? Like, this is the definition of bitch shit, bro. This is the definition of bitch shit. Pussy hurt. Panties in a bunch. But at the end of the day, it's like, what you being a bitch for? That's what I'm confused about. Like, what's the purpose? This is not the first time somebody has said something about you that you didn't approve of. And then I said it right to your face. And no energy. None of this. None of this lip. None of this lip, bro. And as I'm going back editing the video, come to realize he's probably gay. Stevie gay.
Well, oh, come on, bro. Bro, we're in 2025. And that is still what mofos say about dudes that they don't like, or they think they're weird, or they don't know what's going on. That's the first thing people say. That's the first. People still do that. That's that like overcompensating, emasculating red pill stuff, man. That is so random. I never heard nobody call Abba gay, but it's usually Preach because of Preach's mannerisms. But that was so out of left field, man. Okay, Stevie, where you're effing up is that you are given. I don't think they're gonna make another video on you, brother. I highly doubt anyone's even gonna watch mine, it being a whole hour long, right? But you saying that is giving more ammunition for them to make another video on you, man. And then you're gonna look even stupider. You should not have responded. Oh my gosh, bro. That. And you know Abba's gonna watch the full thing if he does cover it. Oh my gosh, bruh. I think you lost. I think you completely lost after that one, bro. That was so out of left field, man.
Bro, because it's too much, dog. It's fucking gay, dog. Gay. It's wicked out here.
What's funny is that he's saying that Abba's is doing come on, man, talk. Is feeding into this too much, giving it too much energy, but his videos, Stevie's videos on these are longer than Abba's videos on this.
Here, bro. It is wicked out here, dog. Anyway, thoughts. And I'm very aware I stopped the video early, bro, but I ain't about to sit here and waste another hour getting my thoughts on it, bro. I have since talked to my girl. She saw the whole thing, bro. She said really ain't much else there. He didn't add any
Ride or die
substance or new to the conversation. He's trying to paint me as Uncle Tom or, coon towards the latter end of the video. I guess bringing up the videos that I've attacked black people by the titles. Because I ain't peeped it, bro. But if that's the case, man, I challenge someone to go through my videos and find somewhere where I'm attacking black people, where I'm making fun of black people, where I'm targeting black people, bro. That's not what I'm about. If anything, certain individuals of the black community are very sensitive and do not like criticism.
I will say, Stevie's not as bad as some of the other mofos like Hodge Twins and Brandon Tatum and all that
like
crowd.
Accountability, bro, and that's what I do. But I hold everyone accountable, dog. Matter of fact, I'm willing to bet that black people are. I don't even say black people because I don't attack black people, bro. If you're getting pissed at the title, that's on you because titles are clickbait. Usually, I'm just quoting what somebody says in the motherfucking video. But I'm
true. But titles can add to your character.
One that I have the least amount of videos holding accountable, right? It's mostly, but y'all know what it is. Right? I'm not gonna sit here and convince y'all.
You gonna say women?
Like, bro, I ain't got shit to prove. Right? That's
You almost said bitches, didn't
Find
you?
me a video where I am attacking black people. Find me a video where I am talking shit to black people, disrespecting black people. Right? I hold my people accountable because I want the best for my people. You know what I mean? But you can't say shit about black folks, regardless, dog. How dare you? If you do, you bitch, you fucking scum, you coon, you whatever the fuck, bro. But when you hear people talk like that, all that does is let you know who you talking to, and you can't talk to them, bro. And Abba is one of those individuals you can't talk to. And then apparently he offered your boy 50 bands to call out white folk. I guess he's trying to sun me on that. Abba, if you're willing to talk to me directly and not do this online beef, bro, let's play Big Bank take Lil Bank, bro. Go ahead and show me all the little YouTube money you got. 50 bands, bro. The disrespect.
Look, man. This video wasn't needed. Not my video. The one that Stevie made. Too much energy. You can't call the guy emotional. And then you had... He's kind of in that thing where mofos play it off as jokes and they're laughing, but clearly it's bothering them a little bit. He's calling Abba all these names. Well, I mean, to be fair, Abba called him a clown and all this other stuff. But I don't know. I don't think he should have did this video, man. But hey, man, I don't know. It was cool. It was kind of fun to watch. I can give my own commentary. You just didn't address the main criticisms that people were talking about. I guess at the end you did talk about the whole the title stuff, which is fair. But yeah, I don't know. If Abba does do a response, hopefully he doesn't. Don't respond back, man. Just let this crap blow over. Everybody would have been done talking about this, but you adding fuel to the fire is dragging it, man. I don't know. I mean, me uploading the videos adding fuel to the fire too. So maybe I'm also bad, huh?